Hello everyone! Welcome back to another exciting tutorial. Today's subject is the stamina bar, which has many uses in games. I'm kind of coming at it from the perspective of, combat with a stamina bar, but you could use it for dashing and running in like a Mario style game. Just about anything could employ a stamina bar. Even washing laundry. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I've already made an attack. And there's not a whole lot to be said about that, because we're not covering how to make attacks. We're covering how to make stamina. The only important thing to be noted on the timeline here is a variable modifier labeled stam, short for stamina. And these are the settings. Add when powered on, and the operation value is -15. So 15% of his stamina will be drained every time he makes an attack. Now I want to go over here, and basically what we're going to need first is a variable labeled stam, of course. The initial value is 100, and the maximum value is 100. And the minimum value is 0. We don't want negative stamina. And we're going to be taking the current value and connecting it to a calculator labeled 2.00 and set it to greater than and connect it to the power of our NOT gate. Now basically what this is going to do is when we get below a certain percentage threshold on the variable, the stamina, say below 2% stamina, we'll be unable to attack. So this will limit our ability to attack, because basically, as an example, I'll take the initial value down to 0. The calculator will no longer be functional. So that's one important thing. Next, we're going to want a heads-up display for our little stamina bar, and I'm going to press play so that our health bar is visible, and we can put the stamina bar in relation to that. And all I do is take out a text displayer and type G, 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 G over and over again. Just stretch out the bar, take these two things, put it in position, copy it, make it green, and also make sure that its sort order is 3 or something higher than the previous one we set up. That way when it drains, it'll look like the bar is depleting. And that's pretty much it for that. I guess there's one other thing. You'll want a keyframe, and I advise just pulling this back like so, to create the effect that the bar is diminishing. I suppose if your TV has a really wide aspect ratio, this illusion might not work very well. I think I've got a pretty wide aspect ratio, so maybe this won't be a problem for most people. I don't know. But all the bar does is, create the drained animation. And then you're going to want to hook up a NOT gate to that, and hook up a calculator to the NOT gate, a calculator which is set to divide by 100, and up here we have the value of the stamina variable hooked up to A, and its value is 100. Thus creating a seamless, and we're going to show an example of the bar that it is going down. Although there is a few other things to be considered. Manually setting the stamina down won't really yield the proper results. We'll have to have an attack because the way I've rigged it up. This is actually a very simplistic system. But next, we'll take the decreased value that we see inside the stamina variable and hook it up to a timeline set to play once. We won't need to prevent playback, because in this case it's just fine if it plays back over and over again. Also, I don't think we'll actually be needing this switch at all. That's just some leftover rejectamenta logic. What we will need is an action recorder, which just turns off the power of this node. And speaking of this node, we're going to need a node right here, and a calculator connected to it, set to greater than 98.97. And this is basically the threshold at which stamina will start to regenerate, if you input the value into A, of course. And here is the rate at which our stamina will regenerate, which is 1.7. And we've set it to continuously while powered instead of when powered on. And of course it's set to add. And this will modify our stamina and regenerate it when necessary. Of course, every time we do an attack or decrease the stamina bar in some way, it will start up this timeline that shuts off the ability for stamina to regenerate, creating a cooldown period, which you could, extend if you wanted to, but I'm going to go with this. Now let's see it all in action and see, how it plays out. There we go, 15% stamina being drained. Kind of a boring attack animation, but it's just for demonstration. And he can't attack anymore. He can once it regenerates past a certain threshold. And depending on your rathers, you could decide when that threshold is. I'd say, though, it's a pretty robust system. There's probably a few other ways you could do this, but yeah, this is my method. And it takes very little logic, which is, efficient. So, yeah, hopefully someone finds this helpful if they're putting together a game. Now, increasing your stamina threshold might be a tricky deal. Like, if you wanted to have it so that you level up and you get an even higher stamina bar, that might be very tricky, but for a more simplistic game, I think this works just fine. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. If you would like to support us financially, consider clicking the join button to become a member and unlock perks. You can also leave a super thanks in the comments, which we would appreciate, or a one-time donation on Ko-fi, link in the description. That's all for now. Goodbye.